This is CBC Vancouver News.
Changes are coming to some Surrey schools this fall.
It's a little bit of a first step, if you will. It gives us a little bit of breathing room to sort of see what's going to happen in the coming years.
The move aims to deal with chronic overcrowding issues, and BC is expanding access to legal aid services.
This will mean more people are provided better access to justice. This will change lives.
The new model will provide free services to victims of intimate partner violence. Plus, Air Canada's chat box gave a BC man the wrong information. Now the airline has to pay for the mistake. Hello, I'm Janella Hamilton. Thanks for joining us. Overcrowding continues to be an issue at some Surrey schools. So, to help address the challenges, the school board is set to bring in extended days for students, which means some students will have earlier starts and some will start later. Michelle Morton brings us more from Surrey.
I'm outside of Sullivan Heights, which, according to Surrey schools, is seeing the most overcrowding. Now, the school board says it's anticipating up to around 2,600 additional students in the new school year.
It doesn't free up a whole lot. It's a little bit of a first step, if you will. It gives us a little bit of breathing room to sort of see what's going to happen in the coming years. In terms of percentage, at the top, maybe 15% additional capacity, because we're still going to have a fairly large number of students in the middle of the day, between, say 10 and 1:30 or something like that.
To address the existing overcrowding challenges, Surrey Schools is planning to bring in an extended day model, which the city has seen around 10 years ago. In the fall, they say they're planning to bring in this model to 5 secondary schools to help spread out the number of students. How it's set up to look is the schools will have 5 periods. Some students will attend either periods 1 to 4 or 2 to 5. The schedule is not yet known, or if parents and guardians can choose which periods their kids attend. Some parents say already this may not work with their schedules.
This is not the right perspective to tackle an issue of the capacity. This will disturb the family life for all the parents. And instead of, having the different timings for the children, I think that Surrey School Board must hire more teachers. They must have more infrastructure.
We spoke with some Surrey residents who have mixed opinions.
I mean, if you all of a sudden have to take your child to school at 9:30 instead of 8 o'clock when you're going to work, it's going to affect everybody. We just kind of need more schools in Surrey, actually.
So long as they have quality education, it's not bad, but it's always good to start school early.
I think the schools are overpopulated. The housing, the increase of population is faster than the building of schools and teachers. And I think that's really sad. I think education is so important for children.
The education minister was not available for an interview, but the ministry says in a statement it remains determined to work with school district partners and local government to deliver schools the city needs. It says over the past 6 years, the province has continued to invest in new and expanded schools, noting 2 new elementary schools are under construction and more expansions are in the works. Michelle Morton, CBC News, Surrey.
The BC government is announcing new funding to provide legal support for people fleeing domestic violence. As Sohrab Sandhu reports, advocates say a lack of resources left a hole in the system that has finally been filled.
It's an investment of $29 million over the next 3 years.
These investments will especially focus on those experiencing family violence.
On Thursday, the province announced a new family law clinic with what they call multidisciplinary trauma-informed approach. The clinic, to be set before the end of the year, would be run through Legal Aid BC. It would provide in-person and virtual services for free for people facing harm such as intimate partner violence. The province says it's also changing the financial bar for those seeking legal aid.
We're changing the income thresholds to better align with the basic standard of living for families in BC. Financial eligibility will be expanded so more people can access family legal aid services in this province.
The announcement comes after a 7-year legal battle initiated by the Single Mothers Alliance of BC, now known as West Coast Leaf. The advocacy group argued on behalf of women fleeing domestic abuse and violence, questioning the lack of legal resources for single women that they say puts women and children at further risk of violence and debt. A lawsuit was twice challenged by provincial government in BC's Supreme Court, only to be turned down.
Today's announcement means people experiencing family violence will have access to specialized services tailored to help meet their complex individual needs, and that the services will be available to them from the beginning of their journey through the family law system right to the end.
According to province, 20,000 women each year experience relationship violence in BC, and that there has been a shortage of support resources for such victims.
This is something that we used to have in BC. They were cut many years ago.
Hawkins says family law clinics are better positioned to deal with family law cases, which are often complex in nature.
They really are able to employ salaried staff lawyers who can provide continuity of services, who can develop specialization, who have the time and the ability to see cases all the way through.
While the clinic won't start until the fall, the province says those eligible can access an additional 25 hours of legal aid immediately. Saurabh Sandhu, CBC News, Vancouver.
The RCMP is forming a national team to help coordinate investigations about extortion schemes targeting South Asian businesses in BC, Alberta, and Ontario. Extortion threats have been reported in several BC cities, including Abbotsford and Surrey, through physical letters, phone calls, and over social media apps. Mounties say the team is looking into similarities and motivations behind extortion threats, which are reportedly tied to organized crime groups. BC's Public Safety Minister is welcoming the news.
I'm very pleased with the formation of this task force. This is an issue that we take very seriously. I know individuals in the Lower Mainland in particular, and in fact in other parts of the province, have been very concerned about the extortion threats that they have been receiving.
Police say extortionists are demanding protection money from would-be victims. Some have seen their businesses targeted with gunfire after refusing to pay. Meanwhile, Farnworth also addressed the Victoria Police Department's role in collapsing a major drug prosecution.
I think it'd be fair to say that I'm as angry as just about everybody else when I heard the news about the staying of the charges in what was a significant and major drug bust in the province of British Columbia. I can also assure you that Vic PD has indicated that they will be making significant changes to ensure that this does not happen again.
It comes after CBC reported that a $30 million drug bust in Victoria flopped, all because police concealed key details, including the fact that one of the investigating officers was himself under criminal investigation. Victoria's police chief has apologized for his officer's role in the case. The sons of a murder victim in the Comox Valley are speaking out. Last week, the body of Rod Kelly was found on the side of the road next to his bicycle. On Monday, police said they had found a suspect and charged him with first-degree murder. Kelly's sons say their dad was caring and kind.
I still can't believe it, that he's gone. And I'm struggling.
His sons say they don't know the suspect and they don't believe their dad did either. Air Canada has been found liable for a chatbot's bad advice on plane tickets. The airline claimed that the AI tool was responsible for its own actions, but as Jason Proctor reports, the BC Civil Resolution Tribunal didn't buy that argument and has ordered Air Canada to pay for the mistake.
So this story begins on Remembrance Day 2022 when Jake Moffat's grandmother dies. So what Jake Moffat does is goes on Air Canada's website to look at the possibility of booking last-minute ticket to go to Toronto. Jake Moffat ends up dealing with a chat bot and gets advice that, Air Canada has bereavement rates, and that if you apply within 90 days, you might be able to get some money back. And so, in fact, Jake Moffat screenshots this chat with the chat bot for later use, goes ahead and books the tickets to Toronto and back within the same week, and pays about $1,600 because, again, this is a last-minute fare. When they get back, Jake Moffat calls Air Canada and says, hey, here's what the chatbot told me, but is told, no, actually, that policy doesn't apply retroactively. And so Jake Moffat says, well, I have this screenshot, shows what the chatbot said, but is told, well, that appears to be misleading. We will make a note of it so that we can, inform our website, but sorry, for now, that's the best we can do. That's not enough for Jake Moffat, who ends up suing in BC's Small Claims Civil Resolution Tribunal. In this process, Air Canada says it can't be held liable for misrepresentations given by its employees or agents, including a chatbot, which, the member who hears this says, okay, well, you're trying to say it's like a separate legal entity from you, and that's basically ridiculous. Because, of course, the chatbot is part of Air Canada's website, and Civil Resolution Tribunal member says that Air Canada should be responsible for what it promised. And how is a person supposed to know that, one part of the website's accurate while the other one might be, so you have to check everywhere? Upshot is Jake Moffat wins $800 back to cover that difference between what they originally paid and the price they would have paid had they been given the bereavement rate. Jason Proctor, CBC News, Vancouver.
Construction is underway on a new housing development in East Vancouver. It's a unique partnership with the city of Vienna in Austria that aims to combat climate change while providing affordable housing options. Vienna House will be built near Nanaimo SkyTrain station on land donated by the city of Vancouver. It will eventually provide 123 affordable housing units that will be energy efficient and sustainable, according to the province.
It's also about the environment as well, and making sure that we have the right housing in place. That's going to deal with future challenges when we have other, heat events or smoke events in our city. This property, these houses are actually going to work for the future, so we're super excited about that.
The Austrian capital is collaborating with Vancouver and the province to share ideas, expertise, and resources as it builds a similar affordable housing project there, which will be named the Vancouver House. Vienna House should be ready for residents by the fall of 2025. Meanwhile, BC United leader Kevin Falcon is proposing a number of changes to housing in this province if elected, including a rent-to-own program for first-time buyers.
Instead of paying rent as they're currently doing to a landlord right now, they can buy their new place, live in it, and 100% of the rent will go towards their down payment. So that by the end of 3 years, they've now saved up a significant amount of money.
Falcon also says he would eliminate the PST on home construction and remove the property transfer tax for first-time buyers on homes under $1 million. Local First Nations are calling for better representation on the Vancouver Police Board.
We need to have a voice. We've been made invisible in the city and need to have protection for our people and be able to ensure them that they won't be treated in a disrespectful way by the VPD.
There are currently 3 vacancies on the board. Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh leaders say filling the 3 seats with Indigenous representation is an important step towards reconciliation. It's a bit of a hard find, but a slice of BC is on millions of computers worldwide. Michelle Gomez breaks down where to find it and how it wound up on Windows desktops.
So if you open up the display settings on your Windows computer, and then you open up HDR, you'll see this beautiful shot of a man walking on a ferry. But if you look a little closer, you can tell that this is actually on a BC ferry. This man who's pictured in the video recently learned from a Reddit thread that his back is on over 1 billion computers.
But my friend, he's an active Redditor, and he reached out to me. He's like, this guy looks like you. And like, he was on the shoot too. So he didn't think it was me at first. I'm like, that is me. And I was like, this is crazy.
The clip is from a music video Barboza directed 10 years ago for a Langley punk band called Gob. He says it was shot on an early morning ferry to Nanaimo.
We just brought the camera out from the car and filmed a beautiful slow-mo shot of me walking, and the sun was peeking out perfectly there. And
so how did Microsoft get this clip? Jesse Hunt, who shot the music video, had uploaded the footage to a film licensing site at the time. And looking back in his records now, he discovered Microsoft had in fact purchased a license for the clip back in 2017 for $1,000.
When Miguel sent me the Reddit thread, I followed up with Film Supply just to make sure that they actually paid for it.
According to Microsoft, there are more than 1.4 billion active computers in the world running Windows 10 or 11, both of which use this shot.
The chances of one of my clips being that clip that was used is pretty insane.
BC Ferry says it's thrilled to see the Queen of Oak Bay vessel featured, and it's no surprise Microsoft recognized the beautiful scenery its passengers experience.
you never know where your shots will end up, where your video will end up. You never know who's watching.
The filmmakers are happy PC users worldwide will come across a little slice of BC. Michelle Gomez, CBC News, Vancouver.
When we come back, one BC city is getting its own Black Film Festival. How the event is exploring Black storytelling and celebrating achievements. That's after the break. Thank you for joining our commercial-free live stream. Tired of dating apps? Well, an organization in Banff has put a twist on speed dating. Skiers and snowboarders were invited to find their perfect match on a chairlift. Take a look.
The sun may have set on Banff and Mount Norquay, however, hearts are just rising for a Rocky Mountain twist on speed dating. Roughly 50 or 60 singles who are tired of swiping left and right looking for a match are going to arrive to ride this chairlift. The twist? Every time will be with a different partner. All in the affectionately named event, Lifts of Love.
The main vibe for tonight is have fun, do something different, try to meet new people. We just thought it would be a different take on speed dating. I mean, this day and age, maybe you're tired of flicking left and right on an app. You want to do something different. We thought this would be a lot of fun. And the great part about it too, essentially you're meeting someone with a common interest.
Woo! I'm excited.
What drew you out to this event?
Make some local friends, and if there's something more, that'd be great.
Well, I did originally come for just a night ski, but this is an added bonus.
It's just nice to meet new people that side, isn't it? And it's just like, it's a good laugh.
And so has it been harder to meet new people through the apps, or did you prefer in person?
I prefer in person, yeah. It's kind of hard to, find people online. If you don't find love, you can at least find nice skiing buddies.
Nice, enjoy it, guys. Anyone with a glow stick who's here to hang out, you just hook them up with another person, and then just pretty much let the lift do its work and hope that they have a great time.
Banff is very Australian, New Zealand focused at the moment, it seems, so I'm not sure how special I am here, but I'm going to use that to my advantage, I'm not going to lie, yeah.
Have you seen or heard any stories come out of this event?
Everyone definitely asked that. We know of one couple that got married after meeting here and a couple of long-term relationships. So if those are the odds, we're pretty proud of that.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle spent another day enjoying the mountains in Whistler. That's Harry taking a turn on the skeleton track. It's part of the second day of athlete training for the first ever Winter Invictus Games. Wounded veterans from around the world will compete here next year. Kamloops is hosting its first ever Black Film Festival this week. The event explores Black storytelling and provides a space for meaningful conversations on Black cultures and experiences. We got a sneak peek of the festival, which runs until Saturday.
My name is Daniel Atkinshola. I'm one of the board members of the first Kamloops Black Film Festival. It's important because we have a lot of Black people here, living here, and we're trying to bring about more social interaction, more cultural understanding, cultural tolerance, cohesion, cooperation as well. So why not just bring something for the people who are here as well, who are represented here, so they can have a sense of presence, belonging, have a space.
We've had a few what we call micro festivals in the past with the French Francophone and the Indigenous festivals, but we're delighted to work with community groups to showcase Black Canadian experience, and in this February, of course, Black History Month. This is the inaugural Black Film Festival, and we have this incredible committee of activists who have come together.
Immerse yourself in the magic of the silver screen, where every frame tells a story that resonates with the soul.
A university town like ours, which is as diverse as Kamloops is, I think it's essential, quite essential. In fact, something that we heard repeatedly when we spoke to people about the Black Film Festival is that they've been wanting for something like this to happen at a very, for a very long time. And for it to happen during the Black History Month, when there is just so much of energy, so much of great vibes, people want to know more about, the history of the Black resistance and the Black people and their culture.
Black history, as you know, celebrates Black achievements from the past, hopefully to ginger more achievements in the present, to wake people up and give more hope and inspiration as to possibilities. Don't give up. That's the main thing about life. Don't give up, keep moving. And films are a very good testament to that. That bright spark, that drive, that passion in people. I want to achieve, I want to be a hero.
Here we have a live shot of Georgia Street. Victor Paulo will be with us next with our full forecast.
It's a snowy field now, but this spot north of Selkirk may soon hold the only patterned solar glass manufacturing facility anywhere in North America. The city's mayor is bullish on the possibility.
This green initiative will be to Manitoba what oil and gas was to Alberta in the past.
Canadian Premium Sand will build a solar glass plant that uses silica sand, extracted from a mine near Hollow Water First Nation. The plant will create the glass needed to build solar panels. The government says a pair of environmental appeals against the company's plans have been dismissed.
We're here today to say yes to CPS.
The project is expected to create 250 jobs in Selkirk and 30 more in Hollow Water First Nation. The company's CEO is thrilled.
It was great to see the support from the government of Manitoba and their enthusiasm, quite frankly.
Years ago, the company wanted to use silica sand for fracking, but it changed course when oil prices plunged. A protest camp was set up after the original proposal was announced. The leaders of Camp Morningstar say they're disappointed by the province's decision and continue to have environmental concerns. The mining of the silica sand is expected to start this summer, while the construction of the manufacturing facility, which will be built behind me, will start next year. Now that all the licensing and government approvals are in place, all that's needed is the money. Ian Fraze, CBC News, Selkirk.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and here's what's in your CBC Vancouver inbox.
On March 8th, join CBC Vancouver's Michelle Elliott for a morning of transformative social change at West Coast Leaf's annual fundraiser, The Equality Breakfast. For tickets, visit westcoastleaf.org. And CBC Vancouver's the media partner at the Alumni UBC event, Shaping Solutions for the Housing Crisis, March 11th. Explore this multifaceted issue with panel members who will share their diverse ideas about solving this problem. Register at alumniubc.ca.
The weather update is brought to you by Direct Buy Furnace. To cool and clean the air in your home, call Direct Buy Furnace. Installing Trane, the most reliable heating and cooling brand.
Weathercaster Victor Palo joins us now with a look at our full forecast. Victor?
Well, Janella, let me tell you all about it. We're just going to take a peek as to what's going to be the trends as we get into our weekend. I'm going to take a step to the other side of the country. We've had a lot of snow, by the way. As you do know, the East Coast got hit with almost 100 centimeters. But over here on the West Coast, on the Pacific side, you can see that we are in seasonal temperatures. The good news is we're not expecting temperatures to get too cold over the next couple of days, and we're definitely not expecting it to get too warm. Just like my favorite story, The Three Little Bears, it's going to be just right going into the weekend. Now, here's what's going to be happening for your Thursday into your Friday morning. As you can tell, there's going to be some increased cloud cover. If I just duck down here, you can see by 9 o'clock in the morning, our day is going to be pretty clear, but as we get later on towards midday, there's going to be something brewing off the coast. And let me tell you, it's going to be some rain that's going to last all the way through to about Monday, potentially Tuesday. But let's talk about tonight, where the weather is going to be -1, partly cloudy. And as we do get later on into the day, we're going to start ourselves off with a day where it is +1, and it'll slowly but surely get cloudy. But the good news is we get that sun right away to start. Now, a quick look at our 3- and 7-day forecast. Let me tell you all about it, Vancouver. It's going to be a sunny Friday. We're expected to be around 8 degrees, a low of close to 1, and those are actually your seasonal temperatures for this time of year. Now, Saturday and Sunday, the precipitation is going to return. It's going to be more of the scattered variety. So if you do have plans, well, just make sure you have an umbrella and a good raincoat, because the last thing you want to do is get stuck without both, and it's going to start to rain. Now, that rain is going to be pretty consistent, as we did talk about. As you see Monday into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're expecting to see the sun come back finally, and then we get to see those double-digit temperatures return. We're also at that time of year where the temperatures are no longer getting colder, but they're now starting to get warmer. Vancouver, hope you have yourselves a lovely night. And over to you.
Thanks, Victor.
Always a pleasure.
All right, that is your late news for this Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. For news at any time, visit our website, cbc.ca/BC. Your next local news is on the early edition on CBC Radio 1. That starts tomorrow morning at 5:30. Have a great night.